Well, we made it to episode 20.
Wow.
Yeah, big number 20. So we've travelled from Melbourne to Perth. It's taken us about 4 months so far, and we thought we'd just take this episode to just stop and reflect on our trip so far, because it's been an amazing trip, and if you don't take these times to really reflect on where we've been and how far we've come, kind of take it for advantage sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. I know, I can't believe it's been nearly 4 months.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we set off on from Melbourne on the 4th of March.
4th of March.
And it's just after early July at the moment. So 4 amazing months, and we've just seen so much incredible stuff. It's just amazing, isn't it?
And not only what we've seen in terms of, you know, the tourist things and Australia, but we'd never caravanned before.
Yeah, we've learnt so much. Like, as in our previous episodes, if you've seen them, hopefully you have, we set off not having towed anything in our lives before. So we were literally bought a caravan, and the first time we'd ever towed anything was pulling the caravan out of the dealership. So
yeah, we didn't even know how to unhitch the caravan when we picked it up.
Exactly. So it just shows you how far we've come. Now we're getting the caravan in all sorts of spots. We're squeezing it in here and there, reversing it like a pro. Hitching and unhitching is no problem. Yeah, it's amazing how far we've come in just 4 months.
So I think as part of this video, we thought it was worth just recapping what we've learned over the last few months. So we've obviously gone from being total beginners. So what mistakes have we made? What have we learned? You know, just everything about what we now know about caravanning. And hopefully that'll be useful to any of you that are new to caravanning as well. What mistakes you've made might be entertaining to you that have been caravanning for a long time.
Yeah, and also things that we kind of wish we had, which we don't, or things that we kind of have in the caravan that we haven't really used, and we're just kind of hauling them around the country. So,
We've thrown a few things away.
Yeah, it might give you an idea of things that just really you don't need, and things which you should really consider before you head off on your big lap.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of flies and mozzies around here, so
there is.
Excuse the wafting.
So much wafting.
So hopefully this will be just it's quite a general video, but quite a useful tips and tricks caravanning video as well.
Yeah, exactly. So thanks for watching, and let's get into it.
Okay.
Just quickly, we thought we'd let you know some pretty impressive stats that we're racking up. How many kilometres do you reckon we've done in the caravan, Hannah?
Oh, Melbourne to Perth, that's a long way. I have no idea.
We've done 7,700 kilometres so far.
Oh, that's a lot.
It's a huge amount, and that's just in the caravan. So I log it every time we use the caravan. I just take note of how many kilometres we've done. In the car, it's probably double that. I think it's closer to 15,000. And that's because obviously we put the caravan in one spot and we use the car to drive around, do a lot of day trips and stuff.
Yeah, it's a lot easier because of the size of the caravan, just to have that as a base and then travel around just in the car.
Yeah, exactly. And so being episode 20, we've obviously taken a huge amount of footage at the moment. So we're almost onto our 3rd hard drive. And we've taken probably about 1,700 gigabytes of footage.
Wow.
That includes GoPro footage, drone footage, photos, some voiceovers and recordings that we're doing. It adds up very quickly.
Yeah, that's a long photo session with the family when we get home.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine watching it all at once. It'd take you days.
We've lost 3 Archie toys.
Yeah, I don't know what he does with them.
Yeah,
they just disappear, don't they? Lost them at caravan parks or stolen by other dogs or something.
Or
I don't know.
Just left them, wandered off, dropped them, and wandered back.
Yeah.
What else? We've done 3 gas tank refills, 9 kilo gas tank refills.
Yeah, we go through quite a bit of gas. We use it every day. But, you know, we also use it for the oven as well. We use the oven quite a lot, so we do get through our gas.
Yeah, and then my cups of tea are probably a big contributor as well.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, we don't really use the electric hob, but even when on power, we generally just use the gas hobs just because that's our preference.
Yeah. And I couldn't even tell you how many times we've filled up the car. We will work it out and post it on another video in future, but I'd say we've filled up 30 or 40 times so far.
I reckon we've made probably about 30 mistakes when hitching the caravan.
Yeah, yeah.
29 minor mistakes.
Yeah.
25
of them are the same mistake.
Yeah.
We've stayed at 63 different places so far. 63. That's crazy.
Across 3 states.
Yeah, across 3 states.
SAWA.
63 different spots. And on average so far in our trip, we usually stay about 2 nights, just over 2 nights per spot.
Good start.
Yeah, it's kind of not surprising actually. I kind of figured that we'd stay 2 nights, and yeah, that's kind of where we're tracking at. So pretty cool.
Being brand new to caravanning, van life was quite a culture shock for us, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bit different. Just losing all routine. We need routine in our lives, being a planner and an accountant.
Yeah.
But you know, it's something to get used to, and it was. It's just different. It's not for some people, but you just got to adapt to the change, really, don't you?
Yeah, I think that's one of the main changes. So routine and creating your own routine.
Yeah.
And the second one's space. So suddenly going from living in a house to living in a really small space.
Yeah, I think it probably took us a good couple of months to get used to just the jobs that we each assign ourselves for unpacking and packing and stuff like that, and the space as well. To begin with, it was a bit all over the place, and we were kind of stepping on each other's toes. But now we're really specific on what each of our roles are for pack up, and pack down, and it's really easy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We just get used to it. It's just second nature to us now.
Yeah, we're getting used to the physical space, and I think also there's the physical space of the caravan, but also the sort of your personal space and time.
Yeah.
So that's quite a change going from, when you're at home, you're seeing your friends, you've got your wider support network, and then when you go travelling, it's just sort of us two, and then the people that we meet as travelling, which I think it's probably why the caravanning community is such a friendly, strong community, because everybody's in that same situation.
Yeah.
So I think, we found quite a good balance. We don't spend all of our time together. Chris has gone off and done some activities on his own. I've gone off and done some things on my own. Even just things like walking Archie. Sometimes one person doesn't really want to talk, the other person wants to chat. So it's really about appreciating each other's personal space as well. So
we'll go through a few things that have gone wrong on the trip. We've actually been pretty lucky. There hasn't been a huge amount that has gone wrong for us. A few things which we have explained in the past have gone wrong with the caravan, which has been a bit frustrating, but it's a new caravan, so you kind of got to expect some niggles in it. One of the most frustrating things about it was our washing machine. So really, we used it once, and then it hadn't worked probably for about 3 months. It didn't work, and it was very frustrating. And we usually use the washing machines at the caravan parks anyway, but having our own washing machine, it's kind of a waste of space and a waste of weight if it doesn't work. But we finally got that fixed, didn't we?
Yeah, and it was something really simple. It was that the outlet pipe sort of suddenly went down to a join that was only 1/2 inch thick. So, and there were a couple of bits of loose rubber. And then as soon as we used it, there was a tiny bit of dog hair, and it had just got caught up in this tiny little outlet pipe. Yeah. So when we got it fixed, the repairers said that really it should be a bigger outlet pipe, so they replaced it.
Yeah. So really, it was a kind of engineering issue, isn't it? Really.
Yes. Something. Yeah.
It was a building issue. Wasn't it?
It just needed a slight tweak in the drainage. And then we've been using it ever since, so that's been fine. Yeah. We also had an issue with our inverter. So a user issue.
This is a user error more so, but it's a little finicky. So we've obviously got the inverter in the tunnel boot and a little remote control inside the caravan. And we were finding that the black switches around were always working, whether we turned the inverter off or on the remote.
And that the batteries were draining really quickly.
Yeah, and we were free camping, and we were losing like 15 to 20% of battery overnight. It was crazy. So then we spoke to Crusader, and they didn't know what the issue was either until we eventually just worked out that the on and off button on the inverter itself in the tunnel boot overrides the remote control, which is what the issue was. And since then, it's been fantastic, hasn't it?
Yeah. So that needs to be turned off at all times, and then the switch inside the Caravan will then switch it on.
Yeah, and now that we've figured that out, our battery is just thanking us so much.
I'm not sure I've seen it below 75%.
No, it's been great since then. Those are probably the two major things. What else has gone wrong?
I mean, so the hitching process, we've forgotten a few things a couple of times.
Yeah, and early on we were still getting used to the order of hitching and things, and there was a couple of times where we didn't put chocks down. You know, we thought it was flat enough, and we didn't realise the benefit of having chocks and what how important they are. So a couple of times we didn't put it over, and it was a bit,
So we unhitched, and although we'd put the handbrake on the Caravan, we hadn't put the chocks around the wheels.
Yeah.
And we actually bent the bit of metal, the clasp that just locks in the hitch slightly, because when we did sort of unhitch and come off the tow ball, the Caravan sort of moved quite a bit.
Yeah.
So that was a bit of an issue. So we've learned that we actually do the chocks first before we do any of the jockey wheel stuff.
Well, again, we've got an order for it, don't we? We do the chocks first. We always put the leveler. Where do we put it? In front of the wheel?
No, we used to put it in front of the wheel, but then we found that if you put it behind the wheels, so the opposite side to the car, then the pressure, sort of the momentum is pushing towards the car from the Caravan as it's sort of going down the hill. And then as you lift the Caravan up off the tow ball, there isn't the same jolt as if you put the leveler in front of the wheels. So we'll now always put the leveler behind the wheels, unless we slope downwards quite a bit, in which case I'll put it in front of the wheels, because you don't want to create that additional pressure on the Caravan's brakes.
We hammer the chocks in as well, just slightly, just give them a bit of a hammer. Just make sure that they get under the wheels and really get a good grip in there. And since we've been doing that, just those two things, whenever we unhitch now, it doesn't move an inch. It's
maybe
perfect.
an inch, maybe a centimetre.
But it's so much better than what we had it. And just small things like that you just kind of learn along the way.
That and having the car, it's great getting into a wonderful caravan space and you're nice and flat. But if the car is parked at an angle, you can have a bit of so for example, if there's if it's sort of almost like a pavement and it drops down onto the road, if your car's at a strange angle, it's really hard to unhitch.
So we always try and make sure the car and Caravan are as level as possible, and preferably they're in a straight line as well. No, it's not always possible, but that just makes it the easiest possible way for us to unhitch.
Yes.
And look, this is just stuff that no one's taught us this stuff. We've just kind of learned by trial and error along the way.
Yeah, so sometimes we might go as far back as we possibly can into the Caravan space just so that we can get the car more level.
Yeah.
And being a bigger Caravan as well, the having a level sight front to back is really important, because the jockey wheel can have less impact on a longer Caravan, because you've obviously got a longer lever, so you need to do more action where the jockey wheel is to actually get it level. So where were we?
Coffin Bay. Yeah. With the spot they gave us, just not.
Yeah, so front to back, it was a bit on an angle, and we wound the jockey wheel. We ran it right down as low as it could get, and we still couldn't get it flat.
Way off the scale. So, but again, things that we've just picked up. So, I think that's what I'm most proud about on this trip is, of course we're seeing some amazing places and we're so lucky to do so, but just learning it on our own along the way as well. Yeah. Like, the towing course was great, but we're picking up all of these little tricks and tips on the way, and I think, we're well and truly on the way to being, totally competent in doing it now.
Cotton buds. in hitching. Do you know why I'm saying cotton buds?
I have no idea.
So a couple of times, so as part of our check, when we hitch up, we connect all of the wiring, the car to the caravan, and a couple of times the indicators haven't been working at the back. And we've looked, and because we've been in all sorts of conditions, we've been in rain, we've been in mud, sometimes water or mud gets in those connections.
Yeah.
We have discovered that cotton buds are the best thing for cleaning those, because you can just kind of get the cotton bud inside the Anderson plug and just kind of give it a bit of a clean around.
Yeah, that works really well. And on that as well, we did have a bit of an issue with our trail safe, our breakaway. It hasn't been really a problem for a while now, but we did have some issues with that, didn't we? It just wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't. Well, the red light was going on, which was saying it kind of wasn't active, and we had to kind of pull it out and pull it back in, and it was impossible to pull out. Well, I had to pull it out with a hammer, which is crazy, so we had to loosen the bolt a little bit.
So for those of you that are new to caravanning and don't know what a trail safe or a breakaway is, this is basically just a backup connection, and if the one wire is connected to the car and then the actual trail safe is on the caravan, and it just means if the car and caravan get separated, this plug comes out of the breakaway and automatically applies the caravan brakes.
Yeah. But that's been okay since that. We had a few issues then, but that's been okay since then. So now I'd like to talk about a few things where we feel like it's a bit of a missed opportunity, something when we were planning the caravan we would have loved to have now, and now we realise some things we just should have gotten. They would have definitely been worth the money.
Yeah.
The biggest thing for me is lithium batteries. So we tossed up for a while whether we go lithium or to stay with the standard AGM batteries. And for those who don't know, lithium batteries they have more power, they're much lighter, but they're a little bit more expensive.
Quite a lot more expensive.
Yeah, quite a lot more expensive. And they do last a lot longer as well. But I think knowing now what we do, I would have loved to have that extra weight and extra kind of power as well, and just pay the extra money and upgrade to lithium.
Yeah, I think in hindsight, that's probably the main change that we'd have made.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting by fine. There is absolutely no issues with our AGM batteries at the moment, but lithium just gives us a bit of extra peace of mind. And, you know, on the road for a full year, every kilo matters. So I would have loved to have some extra kilos in our back pocket to use on stuff.
Yeah. The other sort of missed opportunity, which we have since corrected, is more related to the car. So we got the car from new, and we didn't get all-terrain tyres from the start.
Yeah, we should have got all-terrain tyres.
So we ended up in Adelaide, switching to all-terrain tyres, then selling our old ones on Gumtree, which obviously was less financially beneficial than if we'd just got all-terrain tyres in the first place.
Yeah, exactly. Again, it was something where we were spending so much money in the first place. Do we really need to spend more money? But we should have just done it at the start as well. And I think some of the roads we've taken, I think we'd struggle to do them on HT tyres.
Yeah.
So that was probably the best upgrade that we've done, and probably really the only major upgrade that we've done on the caravan or the car. Yeah. So far.
A missed opportunity ? Is a diesel heater.
Yeah. Every single person, almost, when it's cold, ask us if we've got a diesel heater.
We don't.
No.
And we haven't really missed it.
No, it's been cold. It has been cold, especially at night. We've had some really cold nights, but it hasn't been so bad that we've really desperate for a diesel heater, I don't think.
I mean, we have had nights where we put the blankets on the bed. I have a hot water bottle. I get cold first. So we also have a really furry hot water bottle called Archie, who is more than happy on a cold night to come up on the bed with us. So that's kind of done the trick,
well,
really.
You make a lot of tea as well. So Hannah has about 87 cups of tea a day, so that really warms the caravan up when you're putting the gas on.
Yeah.
And we've got a little electric heater, which we brought along with us.
It's a little fan, a 2,000 watt fan heater, and our inverter is a 2,000 watt inverter as well.
So we've actually used it a little bit off grid as well, and it worked really well. But we've used it a couple of times, but even that we haven't used that much.
Yeah.
It just hasn't. I mean, we are in WA and SA, so we're not in the coldest places in the country. Like,
I think the lowest it's dropped to is maybe 1 or 2 degrees overnight.
If you're in Tassie or Vic, you'd probably need it, but I think we've gotten by without it, and I don't think we're gonna get one. No. I think we'll be fine without it.
The fan heater is fine. This space heats up really quickly.
Yeah.
We do think about insulation, so if we are if it is cold, we will make sure that we've got the shutters up so that you've kind of got that double window blind insulation, and the same with the skylights.
Yeah.
And then yes, as soon as we've sort of used the oven because we actually use the oven quite a lot. Or we use the gas hobs, or even with the fan heater, we'll only pop it on for a few minutes.
Yeah, it doesn't take long to heat up this little place.
And then turn it off again.
Yeah. And the only other thing that I can think of that is potentially an opportunity missed is we don't have any like stone protection on the front of our caravan either. We thought about it for a long time, getting a stone stomper. But it was just starting to get too hard with because we were travelling so much. It was just getting a bit difficult where we'd be, and then we just haven't got around to doing it. Something we definitely should have got at the start. And
time will tell as to whether we consider that one a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Same with the diesel heater.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
On the flip side, though, what are the upgrades that we've got that we think are definitely worth it?
I think the inverter has been priceless. Like, it's just so handy having a coffee. I can do it anywhere we want. It's just amazing. Just having
Chris has an espresso machine.
Yeah, so we got the inverter provision. We didn't actually buy the inverter from the caravan place because they were going to charge a fortune. So we got them to do all the wiring in the caravan for us, and we just provided our own inverter.
Yeah, which they then fitted for a reasonable cost.
Yeah, and we've got a 2,000 watt inverter, and we've found that be more than enough for everything we need. We haven't. It's never cut out on us because we're using too much electricity. It's just been perfect. It hasn't. It's apart from the issue with the battery.
Once you figure out how to work
it's been faultless. So I think that's been the best upgrade for me.
Yeah.
What about you?
Definitely agree on that. I think the addition, although we didn't go lithium, which would have probably been the ideal, the fact that we got the second solar panel and the second AGM battery, I think that probably has kind of saved us from it being a real issue power-wise.
I couldn't imagine you doing it on one battery, especially one AGM battery. I can't imagine.
Unless you were fully caravan park.
Yeah. Free camping too much on one battery, you just couldn't do it. So 2 batteries has been just enough for us.
Yeah.
So we did upgrade that and the extra solar panel as well. And I think those are we didn't put too many upgrades.
Yeah, in terms of the caravan, in terms of the car, and again, this is an upgrade that I think we haven't benefited from yet, but I think we will, and that was the snorkel.
Yeah.
So when we although we didn't think about all-terrain tyres, we did think about the snorkel and got that installed before we actually picked up the car.
Yeah, so as we get further up north in WA and through into NT, we'll be doing a lot of water crossings and gets a lot dustier as well. So that will definitely, and it probably already has come in handy, but it will definitely come in handy more so.
Yeah. So what's the plan next?
Should we head back? Head back to Melbourne?
How about we keep going and let's head north. I quite fancy a little bit of sun.
Yeah, so we'll head off from Perth soon and then make our way further up, go see Kalgoorlie and Exmouth and Broome and Carrangini, and there's just so much to see. So it should be really good. So remember to subscribe, guys. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe. It helps us out a lot with our channel. And the more subscribers means we make more good content. So please hit that button if you can. That we would really appreciate it. And give us a like and leave a comment below, a question, recommendation, anything like that. Let us know. We'll reply to you.
Yeah, we do read the comments, and if there are any particular videos that you'd like to see coming up, we've talked about, we barely touched on it, but we've talked about maybe doing a video about weights, caravan and car weights, in the near future, because I think that's a topic that I've seen coming up a lot on Facebook, and we've had a few comments on that as well. So, but if there's any other topics you'd like us to cover, do just drop us a note in the comments and we'll absolutely cover that topic.
We'll get on it. So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
See ya.